back to a new podcast of Who Needs a Friend When You Have a Therapist. How are you guys doing? So you guys, I'm walking to clear my head because I've been having a rough couple of days. And you know what? As I continue to walk, I look up at my hair and my hair's turning gray. I don't know if it's from stress or maybe it's because I'm getting old. I don't know. I don't think I'm actually that old. I don't think 30's that old. I don't feel like I'm old, but I think like my hair just looks that way. But when I was younger, my dad said that his hair was like, he had to start dyeing his hair at like 20 and he was getting gray hair. So probably those genetics in my hair is why. Also, I found out if you stand outside in the sun a lot, it turns your hair gray faster, which is interesting, which I guess it would make sense. Like if you have blonde hair and you put lemons in your hair, it would turn it lighter. So then if you're in the sun too much with dark hair, it's going to start bleaching out the color out of your hair. So just keep that in mind if you have dark hair in the summertime, being in the sun all the time if you don't dye your hair. Because I did not know that. So something I'm learning. So yeah, besides all of that, I had been trying to get vocational rehab to help me start up a business for Airbnbs or to be a fitness instructor to be able to own my own gym, okay? Well, back when I was looking into this very heavily, I was noticing that they had grants that you can apply for, but you have to have a business plan, okay? And so the business plan is like a lot of written up paragraphs and like, I guess basically like research and thesis of how much each thing that you need for your business will cost. And it also like details the entire way to get to your goal, but in a writing format. And you have to know basically every step in detail in this plan for having a business. Okay. And of course, we know that I have a hard time writing and doing like grammar and things like that. But to be able to propose it on a grant, you're going to need expert grammar. You're going to need expert grammar, expert writing, enough for them to see exactly in detail because, you're going up against probably, maybe 500 to 1,000 people in your grant, like applications for federal. And so I was trying to make a goal with this woman on the phone yesterday, and she was like, you're living in a delusional world if you think that you're going to get $300,000 in grants. And I said, whoa. One, who needs $300,000 in grants? Okay. To start a business, I do not. Okay. You could maybe get away with $5,000 at the least amount up to maybe $50,000 at the most, applying for that many grants. Okay. I know you're probably not going to get that in one grant. But you could probably get it in a couple grants if you can get the grants, if you can get the business plan wrote out. And she was like, that might not be feasible. And I was like, well, of course, $300,000 isn't feasible. And I wasn't expecting that to be. But I'm not living in a delusional land thinking I could get a grant if I could work on this business plan. And then she was like, well, if you do that, we have to send you to this small business thing. And the small business people, they just send you links and they just like look over your stuff just slightly, but they don't like help you really. And I was like, okay, well, I need a person with an MBA or a person that is in graduate school who does research, that knows how to find grants and can use keywords and do those things and then help me write out my business plan. Like I can research what I can and I can write it all out, but I'm going to need someone to go over the grammar. I'm going to need someone to make sure I'm writing what I need to write. I need that kind of stuff. And then vocational rehab says, we don't know if we can offer you that type of help. Oh, so you can't offer me help with a tutor of what I need for my accommodation for a disability. So then how can you help me? and they're like, we can help you get a job, but since you haven't had a job in 4 years, it's going to be quite difficult to even get you a job. You're going to have such an adjustment. And like basically talking down to me because I hadn't had a job in 4 years. But the funny thing was, in 2017 to 2000, well, even before that, so I had 2 jobs back from 2010. I used to be the bus monitor, had a job, and then I had a curves job, and then I had also work study. I used to do like 1 job to 2 jobs at a time in college, as well as having 15 hours over with a tutor and doing all my college stuff, making still 3.5, 3.6 GPA. And then when I got failed out of school because EKU decided that they didn't like me, basically, is why. I then still had a job until 2020, but then by that point I hadn't healed at all, hadn't really targeted anything that I needed to. And the stress of a job was just killing me on the inside. And I was dying. Like, I didn't know what I was going to do. What twist, what turn. I mean, when you go through a really big trauma in your life, I mean, how do you bounce back so quickly? How can you just keep on putting it down and gulping it down? Because, I really couldn't do it anymore after 2020. I spiraled so much after 2020 by having that job. It was really causing me to spiral. So in 2021, I haven't had a job since 2021. And I was going to do, what's it called? I was going to try to do good stuff on the internet. And I did actually make money. I did actually work posting on social media. I did make money on Facebook and Instagram. But then they stopped their program and changed it. So then I didn't really get back into it. And then I was on track to making money on TikTok. But I denied being in the creator fund. So I didn't want to make money anymore for helping people and talking about the Lord at that time. I didn't want to do that. So I decided I was going to focus on still making videos, but, talking to the Lord and healing from what had happened, because I wasn't the person I knew. I wasn't a person I recognized. I wasn't a person I liked at all. I was really down about myself, and it took me, 4 years to overcome it. It was so much. As you guys can hear in the videos, and I know that I still have to make another podcast about the rest of what happened because we haven't even made it there. It was just so hard for me to really talk about still, but I am healing still from it. And me talking to this woman at vocational rehab was a little bit hard, because she was also saying, besides the fact that she was saying I was delusional and that they couldn't help me, she then said that I was talking too fast and that I needed to slow down. And when my brain starts processing all this information that this woman was trying to tell me that I didn't have, and that it was impossible to do. There was another thing about being a fitness instructor. So my boyfriend, he has a fitness area outside, okay? And I was like, well, I could just buy a piece of property that's unrestricted and bring the fitness equipment there, and we would have an outside fitness gym. Okay, now this outside fitness gym can grow and have the potential to grow into an inside gym, but before we do that, I just need to get it started. So I would have the land. I'd probably make a walking trail, and then I would have an outside fitness gym. And she said no one would ever come to your gym. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you right now I'm walking outside, and if I could take my dog to the walking trail that was at a gym, even if it's outside, I'd probably still go, right? You walk your dog in the rain, right? You walk your dog in the snow, right? So if you can take your dog to a gym to walk around, why wouldn't you? Right? Okay. And then I was like, well, there's a 24-hour gym right down the road there, and, you can pay for a membership and then never go to the gym. So how do you know no one will come to my gym? Like, you're just saying that. You're also saying I'm delusional. You're saying that I can't see a big picture, but my big picture is if I start the gym small, I can grow it out later? Like, are you not seeing that? You're calling me delusional? And so I was just like, thinking to myself, it's delusional to think I was going to get $300,000, but that wasn't even on the agenda. It wasn't even in my thought process. Honestly, I thought 50,000 is the most I needed. And that's probably more than enough. But it didn't even matter because I was like, if you can't get me a tutor to help me write out a business plan, I can't even get a grant nonetheless. But I was like, why is this woman trying to tear me down in this conversation of trying to make goals for myself? And she's like, they don't have real estate grants. And I was like, oh, I've researched it. I know that they do. It depends on what you're doing. And you know what? Also, if I can't do it for a fitness gym or if I can't do it for Airbnb, even though I know they have it for that type of stuff, I would then work on a nonprofit. And you know what that nonprofit would be? To help people with disabilities that need help, like me. Like, I would help them with getting a tutor because tutors are expensive. And you know, we need that. You know, or helping them with being able to fund something like a small business or being able to help them. Like, I would start a nonprofit for that. I really would, because that's what needs to be done. It's wrong how this woman was just talking to me that she helps other people with disabilities in vocational rehab and saying that it was sad that I didn't have a job for 4 years, acting like I was nothing, and then saying that I needed to go to therapy because the therapist would help me transition into a job. I never said I wanted a job. I said I wanted to own my own business so I don't have to have someone over me, which is basically what you do when you do marketing, when you do podcasts, when you do all those things. However, sometimes I do fear about organization because in my brain, I know I need to organize, but I can't compartmental it, like put it in order to organize it in my brain. And then I just get overwhelmed and I have to figure out how to set it into a list to be able to do it. And this is something that I realized that I'd always kind of had when my tutor would come with me and we would work on stuff. It would be like she would have to help me keep it organized because I couldn't organize. Like, sometimes they were just organizing my papers because I couldn't mentally organize it. Like, I wouldn't even be able to keep a calendar. I would keep it all in my head, which I never was laid on papers or anything because I kept it in my head. But that was back when I wasn't traumatized and could remember, like, everything you possibly, like, gave me or told me. I would remember every situation down to, like, the T. Okay, like, if this was, like, 10 years ago, I could have told you every single thing that each person told me directly without having to read it off the paper. I'd be able to tell you the situation and what exactly happened, like, flawlessly, without even the recorder. But now, after all the trauma that they put me through mentally, I can't remember things, and it's really difficult. It's really hard mentally on me to just live with that. But then for me to try to be healing and, like, moving on with my life, this woman to tell me I'm delusional and that I should have been working for the past 4 years. And the funny thing was, I didn't want to work. And if I did, I didn't have a car because my car broke down. So, you guys, my crock pot broke. And I can't have the chicken I bought. And I bought $7 chicken. And I was looking forward to having curry chicken. But it broke. So now I'm sad about that. So normally they say 5 miles is 10,000 steps. And that's what I'm trying to do every day, 10,000 steps. I really want one of those stair steppers that people have on TikTok. I don't know if you've seen it. But those look really good. Maybe better than walking on the actual street, especially in the cold. But you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Which is why I can't believe that woman said that no one would ever come to my gym. I thought that was, you know, mean to say, but you know what? maybe she needs to follow her dreams, and I don't know. But anyway, besides that, don't know what else I really have to talk about. Oh my goodness, it's holiday flavors at a Starbucks, and I love the holiday flavors. I've been getting a creme brulee frappuccino with chocolate peppermint cold foam on it, and that's really good. But I tried the gingerbread chai latte, and I actually really liked that too, because I love gingerbread. I would have preferred it to be hot, probably. That would have been really good. Yeah. I don't know what other flavor I should try. You know, I wish they had eggnog flavor. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? I do like eggnog. But you know, I'm lactose intolerant, so that's probably really not good. But I love cheese, so I don't think cheese really bothers me. But when you add, like, pasteurized milk to it, that's when it, like, bothers me. Which, you know, I guess we all have our problems with stuff sometimes, right? Yeah. So let's see, what else do I have to talk about with you guys today? I just decided I was going to do this podcast because I'd felt down, and you guys cheer me up, and I just really wanted to, like, talk to you guys and, like, update you on how my life is going, because this woman just really hurt my feelings yesterday, because I'd been working so hard on, like, healing and just from everything that had happened. And she was literally, I know it was a demon, because she literally was talking just like the teachers at EKU used to talk to me. Very much so. And if I could have recorded that conversation, I would have recorded it for you guys, because I thought it needed to be talked about. Like, if only you could have just heard the way she was talking. Like, who says you're delusional to a person that's trying to get help? One. And then who says that no one would ever come to your gym? For two. I mean, and then throws out a crazy number that I never would have imagined that I would have even thought to have needed, because I didn't need that much, and that wasn't part of the goal. So, yeah, that's what that is. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Oh, someone's getting flowers. I would have liked to get flowers. No one sends me that. Yeah, I also have been feeling unappreciated in my relationship, and just really just been, like, down. I think that Satan's been trying to come after me, and I'm just not going to he's not going to win, and I'm just going to have to work 10 times harder and figure out how to strategize to get away from it. And I know that a lot of people think that it's crazy to say that. That's what my mom says. She's like, why are you always talking about spiritual battles and this and that? Well, that's what it is. We are in a spiritual war. We're in a spiritual battle. And I know there's no way that that woman would have been able to talk the way she was talking and it be identical to how EKU would talk to me. Just trying to tear me down to have what they wanted for their goal. Like, so I think that her goal was try to make it to where I couldn't start my own business, or she just wanted me to work in the town and get a job in town and be happy at a W-2 job. Which, I mean, I wouldn't mind a W-2 job because, well, one, I don't have a job, and two, it doesn't bother me to work. I mean, I kind of like it, but I don't have a car at the moment to get to the job. And then they were just telling me on the phone, they were like, well, since you're not very good at reading, you wouldn't be able to do no work from home jobs or any call center jobs because that requires reading. Oh, yeah. But I don't have a car to get to the job, so there's that, you know. And now there's another car coming. And we are on a small road here. so have to make sure I'm not in the way for that. No. The dog almost just tried to jump in front of it. I don't know why he does that every time. He thinks that he can, like, jump in front of the car, and I have to hold his chain so tightly close to me before, so he doesn't go into the road. Actually, he's been acting up today, quite badly on this walk. He's like, wanted to play with a cat. He tried to eat something at the lake, and I don't know what that was. It was like red. Like, it could have been a red tomato, or it could have been like a dead something. I don't know what that was. So that was a little bit upsetting. He doesn't really like rain or wetness, and so where it's been like a little wet outside, he's a little prissy, so he probably wants to do whatever he wants. Probably babied him too much when he was a puppy. And I still do baby him a little bit too much, probably. Or at least that's what my mom says, but you know what? I love the dog. So I don't think I baby him that much. Anyway, I don't know. I really don't know what else to do. When you try to get help, they want to belittle you and put you down. And then you have to come to it in a healed state of mind and more of a peaceful, calming manner, because if you don't, they'll just really rip you to shreds. And even if you weren't expecting someone to talk to you that way during a meeting, you know, that's really gonna shock you. But I guess we'll live and we learn, and I'm trying my best to learn to do better in the world that we're living in, and hopefully I can prevail with what the Lord tells me to do. So I just want to thank you guys for being with me right now, and just talking to me as I have been walking. I don't know if you guys can see the snow, but it's snowing a little bit. Probably just spitting it, but I love the snow. It's like when you go outside, it's like a winter wonderland when it comes down and no one can really like get out. It's like the world stops for a little bit. I love that feeling. But I don't think we're going to get that today, but I still love it. Honestly, I don't really like the sun when it's like 90 degrees outside. I prefer it to be more like this outside. I do not like how it gets dark at 5 p.m., but other than that, I do like it a lot. Have you ever driven a car that didn't have a heater? Because I have, and one time I like took a shower and got in this car, drove in the nighttime in the winter at like 20 degrees outside without a heater. It's very cold in the car. I even at one point thought about getting a propane heater in the car, but then someone said that wasn't safe. But you know, if you're freezing in the car, I mean, what's really safe? I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, I just thought I would bring that tidbit of information. Thought that was funny. There were these cows out, and this cow tried to chase me when I was walking. But it's okay, I got away. But man, just to be on the road and the cow to chase you is a little bit worrisome. Have you ever been chased by a cow? But anyway, I just again, thank you guys for being here. Know you're amazing, you are smart, you are kind, you are funny, you're an extraordinary person. You cannot be replaced. You cannot be duplicated. Nobody can replace you in this world. You are one of a kind. I'm proud of you, and glory be to God, our Father which art in heaven, because, you know, He gave me this opportunity to be with you and to let you know how important you are and how cherished you are and how you are a masterpiece made in His image. And I just wanted to let you guys know. And thank you for supporting me with my problems and helping me, because that's what friends do, right? So I hope I can be there to support you and help you in every situation. Like, you can write me and talk to me. Maybe I can even put you on this podcast. That'd be fun. Just to talk about your life. Or whatever you want to talk about. Oh gosh. This man tries to say my dog is ugly. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Know you're amazing, guys, smart, funny, and extraordinary human. But anyway, I just am trying my best to continue on. I just really have been having a rough time. But then when she was like, the vocational rehab was like, you need a therapist. I'm like, wait a second. Thinking to myself, I don't want no therapist, because when I had a therapist, she would want me to talk about all the things that bother me, right? So I would have to drudge it up for 1 hour, talk to her about it for 1 hour, and then have to live with whatever I had just talked about and think about it for a whole week. And sometimes I think when you talk about your past, or you talk about those things, you have to deal with the demons that come out that were torturing you at the time of the process of whatever happened to you in your trauma. You have to then face the demons, and they come back at you. So it's like you are refighting a demon, and you're trying to be in a better headspace. But if you have no one to talk to about it in that time frame while you're fighting it, you only brought it up so you could have something to talk about at therapy. It then causes you more harm than good, is what I think. And I mean, maybe if that therapist is going to help you, then okay. If you can really talk about it for a week, and then once a week or twice a week at a therapy session, and it not come back and haunt you after you just talked about it, then go do it. Go do it. I mean, it's a good way to vent to someone who doesn't really care, and, go do that. But for me, it's not how that would go. The Lord's been working on me with pride, and pride is being vulnerable. Like, pride is, the opposite of pride is being vulnerable, and vulnerability equals humility. And let me tell you, me and vulnerability isn't really a thing. But this right here, this me and you conversation, is probably as vulnerable as I could get, because I would never in my life be on the internet talking to people about it. But you know what? You're my friend, right? You're my friend, and I'm telling you. So I even am doing this podcast for the Lord, okay? The Lord told me to do this podcast, and I'm doing it for the Lord. Am I feeling very, awkward on the inside? Yes. Yes, I am, actually. Thanks for asking. I am. Because, one, I don't like to talk about myself. Two, opening myself back up to all of these issues is really hard. It's so hard, you guys, and I'm about to start crying, and I'm going to try my best not to, because literally I've just been crying, every day. And I'm just trying not to do that again, because I don't know what that's going to help me do. And then to cry on the camera would even be worse, but we're not prideful here, so it doesn't matter. I don't need pride. Pride is bad. It's a deadly sin, and it's just not good. Pride leads to haughty destruction, and I'm trying to be humble so I can become more wise in each situation. And I know that I'm in a trial, and I'm going to praise the Lord for everything He's done for me and what He allows for me in my life. But you guys, I'm just letting you know, I'm struggling. I really am, especially where this woman at vocational rehab yesterday just said, I'm delusional. Well, you know what? How come you tell a child that they can be anything that they want to be in life, and then you tell an adult that they're delusional for having dreams or things like that? That's not how that works. And that's why a lot of adults become cynical, or they become hard. Their heart becomes hard. They become cold because of all the situations, because no one really believes in them. And I want to let you know, I believe in you. The Lord believes in you. And you can do this. So I'm telling you, And you guys, I gotta hear that from you too, because I'm not delusional, because what the Lord tells me, the Lord will have done. It will open every door. If the Lord tells you to do something, do it. You know? No matter how hard it is. And I'll tell you, normally when he tells you something's going to be hard, it is hard. And he doesn't even tell you it's going to be hard. He just says, tells you exactly what you need to do. And then he tells you, like, the outcome if you do it. But if you don't do it, then he also tells you the outcome. Like, if I don't start being obedient, you know, I will not do well. So you must be obedient unto the Lord to prevail. So, I'm trying my best. And that's why I'm telling you guys my whole insides. Oh man, if only I had some tea. Wouldn't that be nice? Oh, there's a kitty here to play. If only I could turn the camera around so you guys could see all of that. At least my dog isn't, like, bad with cats. You know. So anyway, what's going on in your guys' life? Still waiting to know. Oh, come on. Biscuit, come on. Come on. Like having to pull a sled down the road. Sometimes, though, he pulls me, and I don't know which one's worse. Come on! Did you guys get snow? I don't know when I'm posting this. Could be, come on! In the rain. Cat says no. Come on! Oh, looks like I'm back. I don't know what I'm back for, but let's keep going then. How many dogs do you have at your house? I have 3 dogs. And then I love my dogs. I know I have one dog that I take on a walk because he's the one that I'd had from like way back when, so I wasn't able to like baby him only on like dog food and stuff. So he went like everywhere with me. So that's why I don't take my other dogs on a walk, because I don't want them on the road. But this one had already been on the road, you know, been like to hotels and on dog trips, and he used to eat Taco Bell in our car. Like he would literally get into the bag, eat the whole taco or the burrito or whatever, put it back in the bag to where you didn't know he ate it. He would also take lids off of drinks, drink out of the drink, okay, and then put the lid back on. And then if he was sitting in the back seat and wanted water, he would literally take a water bottle, bite through it, suck out the water, and then leave it there like he didn't touch it. And that's how he would drink his water. So funny. That dog is my dog Biscuit, and he even will tell you if someone gave him a cookie. He'll tell you if he knew the person or if they came up. He's a really smart dog, he's a Beagle Husky, and, you know, I love him. He's not too big, but he is a puller. He can pull me. He could be mean, but he's really nice. Like, sweet and loving, but if he had to be mean, he probably could be. Because, I mean, he's strong to pull. I mean, I guess any dog can really be mean if they want to be, but you know what I mean? Like, he can be stubborn. Like, he only wants to do what he wants to do. You know, stuff like that. Anyway, glory be to God our Father which art in heaven. I just came back to the podcast because my phone just started recording after I tried to delete it. Like, tried to stop. So yeah, hopefully we can continue moving, and I want to hear about your guys' dogs. But again, remember, you're amazing, kind, smart, funny, and extraordinary human. You're irreplaceable. I love you, and thank you for being here.